J McLean, baby.
Greetings, greetings.
Greetings.
Hi.
My fellow citizens on the same side of the waters as I am.
Yes.
Welcome to the Black Economic Show, sis. How you doing?
Fantastic. It's a great day.
It is. So, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about you? How long have you been in the UAE? Is that Sister Kai coming through?
Sister Kai is coming
through.
Hey, Kai, how are you?
I'm really good. Thank you very much. Thanks for your patience. I was just reconnecting on another device.
That's fine. That's fine. We were talking earlier on today about some of the challenges some of us experience with these online platforms. But so don't worry. We're all good. We're all good today. So today, I would like to talk to you both. Two amazing women that are currently in the United Emirates. Yes. And it was a thing where people was like, are there any actually Black folks in the UAE? So today I really want you to tell our audience, about your journey. What is it that you're doing in the UAE?
Okay, well, hi everyone, I'm Marcia and I've been living here for 20 years, so a very long time. I'm an entrepreneur. I am an energy healer, and I also actually spend a lot of time empowering women to find the gems that lay within them so that they can find their purpose. That has come through my own journey of, going through pain and then discovering my purpose. And so, of course, now I want to, transfer that to help others to do the same. And alongside Kai, we actually also run a podcast together, which focuses on mental health. And, really, especially during the COVID time, at the beginning of the COVID time, we realized that people were struggling and that, we wanted to bring something that really was taboo out in the open. And so that's something that we, are very proud of.
Okay, brilliant, fantastic. And yourself, Sister Kai, come share with us, please, your journey. How long have you been in the UAE for?
So I've been in the UAE about 3.5 years. And I originally came here following my passion for music. So I am a singer and songwriter. And when I was in the UK, London, I was doing a lot of independent gigs and releasing my music. But coming to Dubai, I came here and there is such a wide array of Black people from all over the world, not just the Western or African cultures. And as I've developed here, I did have businesses back in the UK, but here in Dubai, where I'm based, I've also got a business called the Bike Club, where we promote restaurants, as well as now I'm empowering other women to also explore their own journeys and basically just tap into, their true self. So as Marcia mentioned, we collaborated to have the podcast, Mind Over Matter Talks, because we know that it's a massive thing, not just about empowering women to have self-confidence, but actually talking about all different types of mental health, especially in the Black community. So that's what I'm very, very passionate about, because a lot of people, I think, assume that there aren't Black people here, or that it's not, easy to travel and start afresh in a new country. So yeah, I'm all about empowerment and showing people how they can do it as well.
So would you both say that there's, a lot of opportunities for women like yourself to set up an enterprise within UAE? What is the climate like? It's are people really, is that entrepreneur spirit there in UAE?
Definitely, I would say, the fact that people have access to disposable income anyway, and, I would say the stresses of life are not as apparent as they are in other parts of the world. And so I think, here is definitely a place where I've witnessed a lot of people, take on a side hustle and do it very, very well.
So, so what we're seeing right now in terms of what I'll say loosely, the surge of Black businesses, because as far as I'm concerned, those businesses have always been there. I think this is a time to profile. Is that the energy right now in the UAE in terms of the focus around Black businesses? Is that what's happening there?
Definitely, I would say so. Yeah, I mean, there's been a huge surge, obviously, with recent events. But as you say, these businesses have always been there. And I think, it's made it become more apparent that, if we really want to grow together as an economy, then we need to support each other, more consciously. So for sure, yeah.
So Kai, so are they networks?
Absolutely. I mean,
networks?
I've been here in that.
Oh, sorry, I think there's a bit of a delay, I think.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, I was just going to say, I noticed that when I first came here, it was a struggle at times to find the things that I needed. And wanting to bring people together, I created Black Girl in Dubai, which is a hub and a directory, as I started discovering a lot of the Black businesses that are already here. So now the website itself has over 100 Black businesses here. And of course, in the Awakening right now, we've discovered that there are so many more. So yeah, they've always been there. It's just about us coming together and promoting each other.
Okay, so I think there's a bit of a delay, Kai, there. I think there's a bit of a delay. So so tell me a bit about, so where, so it's a case of, are there Black stores? Is it mainly online purchases? Tell me a little bit more about what's happening in terms of entrepreneurship.
I think it's a combination. I would say a lot of, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kai, but a lot of the businesses entrepreneurs run are things that they do alongside their day jobs. So they will often be featured at events where, for example, Kai has hosted events at an African restaurant that's very popular here in Dubai. And so you'll have stalls where people, will showcase their craft. You have online as well. And directories like Kai's is a way for us to all kind of find out what there is out there in the marketplace.
So is there definitely demand for Black brands, you say? I mean, are there any culturally specific brands, or is it a case you service the mainstream? It's not about just a Black product serving Black community. It's a product serving everybody. Is that what we're looking at?
I would definitely say so. Yeah.
Okay. For sure. Okay. So has the COVID-19 era has affected entrepreneurs, you'll say, in the UAE?
Yeah, good question. Yes, there has been some effect because, of course, there's been job losses, and of course, as expatriates, once you've lost your job and your security, then it's most likely that you may have to vacate the country. So I'm sure that there has been, some adverse effect. But I would also say it's also, in an indirect way, forced people to look at things differently. Including myself, kind of putting things in place that, this won't happen again if, God forbid, we have a situation like this, right?
That's right. I mean, we've had conversations about this, and it's about now is how creative can you be now? I mean, the thing about the COVID-19, it's kind of created an opportunity now where I think entrepreneurs now, you don't necessarily have to do the physical face-to-face no more. The online platform, and I said earlier on, I'm a bit of a dinosaur with this, but I'm getting to learn very quickly, that I think there's huge opportunities now for us. Huge opportunities.
Most definitely.
What I wanted to know is, I think we have lost.
She's coming back.
Okay. Do you think Marcia, is easier for Black entrepreneurs to thrive, say somewhere like UAE? I mean, do you think the challenges are very different, similar, or is there I don't know, is because we sometimes speak about the challenges that we have here in the UK. Well, yeah, in the UK. Do you experience some of those challenges, or do you feel that the climate in the UAE to thrive as an entrepreneur? And I'm not talking about a black entrepreneur here now. I'm talking about entrepreneurs.
Generally.
Yeah. Is it easier to start a business?
I think so. I think generally, I mean, you know, I think with any business, there's always going to be challenge, for sure. But based on what I've seen, you know, with friends back home and, you know, the struggle, I'm not to say that we don't have the struggle, but I think it would be fair to say that it's probably easier. It's probably easier to start on the entrepreneurial journey.
When you say easier, what do you mean by that? Can you just elaborate a little bit?
Well, as I said before, I think, you know, people have access to finance, which is a major thing, I think, when setting up any business. I've also found unity. I have developed some really strong relationships here, which maybe I wouldn't have had that same level of bond. And I don't know if that's because, you know, we're home from home. And so you find family in the people that, you know, surround you. And so people seem to be more willing to work together, to create something, you know, with a kind of group thought process, you know, how we can develop as one, as opposed to fighting against each other. That's definitely something
Is it that kind of pioneering spirit you say? Like, for example, you know, when our grandparents came to the UK, you know, they had that pioneering spirit. That, you know, is it similar to that?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, even, you know, I have 3 children, and, you know, they grew up here, and even hearing them, they don't talk of going to work for anybody. They're already of that entrepreneurial mindset. You know, it was a given that, you know, I'm going to do something for myself and to build my community. It's never been, oh, I want to leave and then go and buy a house and then work 9 to 5. That's not been part of their dialogue at all.
I mean, do you think? Sorry, you can go.
Yeah, I'm really listening intently, and it's really amazing what you've done. There's a couple of questions people wondering from the ground up how your literal process was for you specifically. But I just also wanted to ask, and in terms of here, you know, we really feel the racism and the hold back because of our colour. Is that really any kind of issue over there at all?
Personally, I've not experienced overt racism. I would say there is covert, but has it stopped me from being who I am and achieving what I've achieved? Absolutely not.
Amazing. Yeah, it's just something to note, the differences between here and there as well.
And it's interesting you mentioned that, you know, because I think you mentioned about, was it coverts? Yeah, and you know, I'm taking it back to where we are here in the UK. You know, sometimes it's very subtle. You know how, you know, and sometimes you don't even know it's happening to you.
Right.
To be honest, until, you know, you interact with somebody else and you realize, but wait a minute, hold on. I didn't experience that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I think, you know, I think there is that that will to kind of, regardless of what the barrier is, and I see that as a barrier. Yeah. You know, it's about how can you maneuver. And I think what we are seeing here right now, you know, is there is value in the Black pound. You know, there's definitely scope. So, I mean, we're not just saying that as a Black brand, we only sell to Black community. We're not even saying that.
No.
Yeah. But we're saying, well, support the brand. I mean, Chakra mentioned earlier on about sometimes bad news or bad customer service gets around quicker than any of the good or the good things. And I think we should be conscious and aware of this, and wherever we can, we shout about those brands, you know, because we do have multiple challenges, and these are the things that when I used to have the charity we spoke about, and you know, one of the key barriers is access to finance. You know, and you mentioned though in the UAE that it's not so much of a barrier in the UAE.
No.
You know, so, but, you know, over here, or in the UK, that is, we could say, one of the #1 challenges. So, you know, it's what we're saying here now in terms of, you know, the group economics, you know, it's those are the kind of benefits and the things that I think we should consider and really practice, because that will actually help to minimize those issues around accessing finance.
Of course.
You know, so I think we are in a climate now where we need to be thinking differently now. You know, it's, you know, we need to be forging, I feel, that some better relationships, like what you've just said, that is in the UAE. You know, what can that look like here?
Right.
I mean, the thing is, I probably will say to you, is it that relationship? Is it because, you know, there is a common bond you all have as expats? Is that what it is?
I think so. I think so. We have a common, you know, ground. You know, at the end of the day, we all came here for similar reasons. And, you know, it's difficult being far away, as much as people think that, you know, you're living in a wonderful, hot country. But, you know, we miss our families, we miss our friends, we miss home. And at the end of the day, we have to make it work, because this is where we are. And so, yeah, I would say that's a major factor. Major factor.
And you've been there for 20 years. 20 years you've been there. 20 years.
20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mr. Marcia lived there when it was just desert.
There was literally, it was spot the person of color, and as you say, it was desert. There was nothing, and that was very difficult for me. Of course, coming from London, you know, very multicultural, and it was hard. It was hard, but, you know, I've persevered, and I have absolutely no regrets.
So do you think that, again, you know, in terms of, you know, I'm just saying, you know, if we have challenges, you know, it's, you know, we perhaps can look at the world differently now, isn't it? You know, we don't have to just focus on London. We don't have to just focus on the UK now. I think maybe we should start thinking further astute now, further abroad now. In terms of,
yeah, I mean, if we're talking in terms of, you know, group economics, it isn't just one location. You know, we're talking about a nation, and, you know, working together, you know, for one common goal. And, you know, if we think about the amount of money that, you know, the Black people spend in the UK alone, and if we were to be smart, you know, about how we choose to invest our money, the possibilities are endless. And, you know, for me, if not now, when? And if not, who, you know, if not us, who's going to do it? So it's our responsibility. You know, we have to make a conscious decision to make a change.
And I like what you just said there about making that conscious decision, you know, because I remember a few years ago, there was an initiative where it was, you know, to buy Black. And, you know, a lot of people didn't really get on board. You know, it's well, you know, it's easy for me to go around to the corner shop. You know, it's just convenient, isn't it? But then one thing I've noticed about other communities, and I've seen that very much in the UAE, they will go out of their way, yes, to support their own. And the thing is, no one has an issue with it.
No.
There's no issue. And they understand the aim and the purpose of group economics. But I just sometimes, I mean, maybe people in the live comments can probably shed light to this, but I just feel that sometimes, you know, I think we need to be more conscious of buying from our suppliers, from buying from retail outlets. So, you know, to be more conscious, to go out of our way. Because if we don't buy, then how are the businesses going to thrive? So I'm really talking to the consumers now, right? I'm talking to the consumers, and that's why, you know, we support Black Pound Day, because one of the things we're doing is we encourage the Black consumer to buy from Black, you know, Black or businesses, Black brands, etc. You know, be more aware of how you spend the money, enabling that Black pound to circulate around us, because the more we buy from our own, the more those businesses can thrive.
So I just want to shout big up to everyone in the live chat right now. It is popping off. There are so many comments coming through. It's amazing. People are asking, I think there's a little debate going on about the black banks out there and what people can support via the black banks. But there was a question. Omifunke McLeod, she wants to know, please share stories from the ground up, i.e. how much money did you have to start your business over there? 20 years ago, of course, there's going to be a shift and change in time, the economic climate as well. So if you can recall, did you come there with your pennies and, amass the wealth?
To be fair, when I first came here, I wasn't an entrepreneur. I came here, with my family. My husband was employed, worked for a company. The entrepreneur journey came much later. And really it was, I'm selling a service. And so I created my service. And it really is a case of licensing. So, you're looking at anything from sort of £2,000 upwards.
Okay. That feels achievable, really.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it can be very daunting. I think people are very stifled in the UK. They don't want to take risks much, and it's understandable because things can go wrong. Big up to everyone that's sending us some donations, supporting gotKushTV. Scattered Minds has donated some money there. Big up to everyone. Big up to Bontwe. I see you. Nate the lyricist. There's a lot of people on. This is amazing. So we're going to try and get through some of the questions people are having directed at Sister Marcia. We've lost Sister Kai, unfortunately. Hopefully she can try to come back before we have to end the interview. Do we have enough diversity of products in Black businesses? Do we feel that, when people say support Black businesses, can you hear me, Sister Marcia?
Yes, I can.
Okay. When people say support Black businesses, but we have our needs, our day-to-day needs that we're used to, right? We're used to want to go to, I don't know, any convenience shop. You just mentioned about the corner shop thing. Do we have enough diversity, do you think?
I think things are improving rapidly. I was completely blown away, when all of this started and a couple of groups on Facebook started, and I was just, it was unbelievable the amount of Black businesses that were out there. And there's always room for more. And what I will say, if there is a gap, fill it. Get your entrepreneurial hat on, fill that gap. It's not enough just to say, well, it's not in the market. Make it be in the market. Put it in there.
Definitely, especially in the tech world, I would arguably, there's so much room for innovation. Don't be scared to go for it, and encourage our young ones as well to the tech world. So we don't have to rely so much on companies that may not have our best interest at heart. I'll put it like that. Very peaceful.
And I think that's why, again, what we're doing today, for those who are out there watching this, you may not have a business. I'm hoping that entrepreneurs like Marcia here is inspiring you to start thinking about your ideas, because sometimes the idea is actually sitting right in front of our face, but we are so creative as a people, so innovative. Sometimes we take for granted the skills that we have, the creativity that we have, that a lot of the times we give it away for free, but thinking that actually, I could actually turn this into an enterprise. And what I like from yourself right now, Marcia, you're very inspiring, and I know you personally, so I also know your journey. And even with some of the challenges, that you may have had, you're still punching forward. And I think that is something that, I want to share with the audience. Sometimes it doesn't always go quite right. It's, there are many a times, I can speak for myself as well, there's a bit of a stop and start. But I think there is that energy that, that going inwards to fight for and fight and keep going, because I think many of us see, brands and are in awe, but don't necessarily know the effort and the challenges behind to get the brands to that level. It doesn't, as my mom said, it doesn't just come sup.
Exactly.
So, you know, and that's why I like the fact that, you know, you're shedding some light on this, and I'm hoping that some of the entrepreneurs that will come on today would also shed that light as well. That, you know, it's not an easy task. It really isn't. It does take a certain type of mind, but there are mentoring programs, there are training initiatives that are there to help entrepreneurs, and I'm hoping that if there are any organizations that provide support for entrepreneurs that are out there, you know, we would love to have you on the program today to kind of shed light on some of the initiatives or some of the programs that you have for those budding entrepreneurs that are out there watching today. Yes.
Marcia, and Sister Ari, we've got some people waiting in the back room.
Okay.
So why don't we invite
We'll bring them in. Yeah, we're gonna bring them in and just make them know. So WBJ and Mary B, feel free to you know, turn your cameras on. We're gonna bring you in about 30 seconds to a minute. Let me just check out some of these. Oh, 1 second. So we got another question right here. So let's do this question first and foremost. It says, do the businesses cater to the needs of our community in a practical way, or to? Oh, this is okay. I don't think this question was for our guest specifically. It was a general question, generic question. But there's some hot debate going on in the chat, boy.
Yeah.
Right now, you get me. It's levels right now, but yeah. Oh, I just realized who's here. Okay, so 1 second. All right, so yeah. Please turn on your there we go. All right, so yeah, let me just get a couple of these comments through though, and then we'll bring in our guest in the backstage. Let me see. There was one that I saw, which is an interesting one. And I want to profile it very, very quickly. AW says, I'ma be real. I'm broke. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We appreciate honesty. So no money to spend today. However, I am pledging support for when payday comes on Tuesday. I am also sharing Black businesses on my profile. And of course, tune into this. For those that might struggle to participate, I want to encourage you to take note of Black businesses you can patronize when you have the means to do so. And I really appreciate that comment right there. You know what I'm saying? We responded to the AW to say that the sharing is just as important as the spending. Yeah. And even just taking part in this process right here, the communality of it, you know what I'm saying? Because really, economics is bigger than money. Economics, it starts with social relationships. And so the part of the reason why we're doing this right here is to develop those social relationships. And with that, I want to bring through our next guest, and I'll leave it to Stella B to introduce them as the case may.
Wow, I'm so proud to see family.
Greetings, welcome from Ghana, Accra. I am Stella B. I am hosting for gotKushTV's Voyage to Motherland.
This is Nat Nai, gotKushTV, Voyage to Motherland.